Hello everyone, my name is Benjamin Chingwe. I'm going to be taking you for ICT. Basically what we're going to do here, we are going to go through the outline, the course outline, which I believe it has been sent on the group that is titled ICT Certificate Part 2. Right, let's go down straight to business. Topic number 1 will cover introduction to computers. Basically, what we'll be doing here, we will be introducing the computer as a gadget. First of all, we'll talk about the history of computers and the computer generations. Here we are just tracing how the computer started and how it has evolved from when it started up until now. And then for the B part, we will talk about the computer architecture. Computer architecture, basically, we're talking about how the computer is built up. Computer basically has got two major components, that is the hardware components and the software components. So we are going to go inside the computer and we talk about the hardware components one by one. The hardware components basically are the physical components, those components that we can see inside the computer that makes the computer tick. Then the other major component is the software components. Basically, the software components are intangible. That is, you cannot touch them, you cannot see them, but you know they are there because of the work they do. For the software components, basically we've got two types of software. That is the operating system. The operating system basically is the system software. It is the software that make the computer hardware components work. That is the one which links all the hardware components to form up what we call a computer, so that those hardware components work coherently to come up with one aim. So basically, any computer or every computer you will see will have an operating system. Basically, when we're talking of computers, computers are electronic, they are made up of electronic components. Computers can be in the form of your Android phones, the laptops you know, the desktop computers, and there are some big computers like the mainframe computers, and there are some computers which are used in industry for manufacturing. Right, the other component, the other software component, or the other type of software is the application software. Basically, the application software is the software that we, the human beings, interact with when we're using the computer. Right, so the application software is there to solve the human problem. Right, what am I saying here? You want to type a Word document or you want to type a letter, you open what is called Microsoft Word when you're using the Microsoft packages. Microsoft Word is a application software which you use to create documents. Let's say you want to type a letter, you want to type your CV or whatever you want to do. You want to deal with figures, you want to, maybe you have a shop, you want to input your figures for the shop, whatever your capital, your profit, your selling price, your profits, and whatever. You use what is called a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet basically is Microsoft Excel. All those are application softwares. There are a lot of application softwares which can be used in any environment. Take for example, if you get into a shop, let's say you go into Zimbabwe, they've got the point of sale there. The point of sale in Zimbabwe uses a computer, and that computer has got an operating system. On top of the operating system, it has an application software. The application software is the software which is being used by the tailor to process your purchases so that you pay. So basically, that's the application software. The other example of an application software, let's say you want to go on the internet, you use what is called a browser. A web browser is a software like, let's say, Microsoft Internet Explorer, Opera, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox. All those are browsers which you use to, if you want to access the internet on your computer. All those browsers are called application software. Why? Because they are used to solve human problems, or we, the human beings, we use them to interact with the computer. So basically, that's what we are going to do. We are going to do on topic number 1, A, B, and then we go to C. The computer, basically, when we said there's got hardware and we've got the software components, the software components basically are written programs. They are programs which are written. These programs are written in various computer languages, which are called computer programming languages. We must have an insight of what these languages are. We are not going to be learning about programming, but we want to just have an insight of the programming languages, how the programming languages are written, and how these programs are formulated. Then we go to topic number 2. Topic number 2, basically, we'll be talking about computer networking. Now that we have a computer on your desk is called a standalone computer. A standalone computer is like you put in your documents, you can process whatever you want to process on that computer. But now the problems comes when you want to share that information. When you want to share information from a computer, what do? You have to have a removable media like a flash memory disk, which is popularly known as a memory stick, memory card, or you can use any other removable devices. But now you have to walk from your computer to the next person's computer who you want to share information with. Right. So to make life easy, uh, computers are connected together to form what is called a computer network. So basically, topic number 2, we'll be talking about computer networks. The A part, or the first part, will be an introduction to networking. What is networking, the definitions, and all the other nitty-gritties, and the other language and terminology used in computer networking. Then B, we'll be talking about the computer, the types of networks, the types of networks that can be built, which you can use to connect your computers together. Then we go on to talk about network categories. Then we go on to talk about the network architecture. Network architecture, we are saying, how do we build a network? There are different types of architectures. So let's say you're building a house, there are different types of plans you have for your houses. You have the hipped roof, the parapets, and whatever. So in networking, we also have architecture. We have different uh, types of network architecture. That's what we'll be talking about. Then we go to E, we'll be talking about the transmission media. Now that we have we want to connect the computers together. What we are going to use is called a medium. A medium, that is a link between one computer and the other, and media is plural for medium. So the type of connection which we are going to use between the between the computers for us to share information is called transmission media. We've got various types of transmission media. That is, some of you may be aware that we can use copper cable, we can use fiber optic, You are very familiar with wireless, which you call Wi-Fi. All those are forms of transmission media we are going to talk about. Then on F, we are also going to talk about network connectivity devices. Right, you can connect two computers together, right, using a cable, one end of the cable to the computer, the other end of the cable to the other computer. But now, let's say we want to connect more than two computers. Our cable has got two ends. How are we going to connect them? We are going to connect them using what we call connectivity devices. That is, a cable is run from one computer to that device, another computer to that device, another computer to that device, and that device becomes a focal point or the central point of that network. So there are different types of connectivity devices which serve different purposes. We are going to talk about those devices because they are very important in computer networking. Then we go on to the biggest network in the world, which is the internet. When we started talking about network, we were connecting two computers together. The internet has got millions of computers connected to it, right? Like you are connected to the internet using your phones, using your laptop computers, your desktop computers, right? So we are going to talk about this animal called the internet, what it is, how it started, and what are its advantages, disadvantages, how does it work. And then we'll also talk about the World Wide Web. Most of you may be familiar with WWW. That is the full meaning of the acronym. It's called the World Wide Web. The World Wide Web is not the internet, but the World Wide Web works together with the internet. We are going to unbundle that, and by the end, we will all understand what that is. Right. Now that we have talked about the computer, we have talked about the computer networks, right? You might wonder, why do we need to talk about these computers when we are doing risk and loss? What does it help? Now, nowadays, uh, we are in what we call the computer age. We are in what we call the computer age, right? Everything is being computerized. If I say everything, I mean everything. Even risk and loss is being computerized. When we used to have physical guards on doors checking who comes in and who goes out, we are now having gadgets like access control systems, biometric access control systems, and whatever to check who goes in and who goes out, and those systems are opening doors. All those systems are computers and they are all networked. So that's why we, in risk and loss, we need to learn about ICT because everything is being computerized, right? We are now in the era which is called the Internet of Things, and we are going into what is called Internet of Everything. Everything is computerized and everything is networked, right? You nowadays we have systems which you can have CCTV camera systems which you can monitor on your phone whilst you are away from your home. You have a CCTV system in your home and you are at work, you are connected to the internet, the system is connected to the internet. You can have a live view of your home and everything else there whilst you're at work over your phone. That is Internet of Things. Internet of Everything, you can even connect your freezer, your television set, your air conditioning system, your microwave. You can connect it to the internet using your phone, and you can control, you can leave for work and put in uh, some food in your microwave, frozen food, and then at work when you're about to knock off, you instruct your microwave through the internet to start cooking. By the time you get home, your food will be ready for you to eat. That's Internet of Everything for you. So you can do a lot of things. You can open your gate, you can shut your gate at work using your phone. That's Internet of Everything, Internet of Things. Right. Now that we have a network, we have a computer, we have a network, and we are passing information through the network. Like you are receiving, you pass information through the internet, you send messages, you send emails, you buy through the internet. What we call e-commerce. People are buying vehicles from Japan in the comfort of their homes or comfort of their offices. There comes a very big challenge. You know, thieves move with technology. They know where the money is and they follow where the money is going. You are now buying and selling over the internet, and they know that the money is now on the internet. They will come there, they want to steal your money, they want to steal your information. Remember, information is the most critical asset of an organization. Information about the workers, about the production, about the finances, and so forth. That is the most critical asset of an organization. So we have to protect the information which we are now passing over the networks. That brings us to topic number 3, that is information security. Information security, basically, we are trying to secure our information which we have put or which we have inputted into our computers and which we are passing from one computer to the other through the network. So basically, we'll talk about the history of information security, that is how it evolved, how it started, and how it has evolved or how it has developed up until now. Then we'll talk about some principles of information security. From there, we will also talk about components of an information system, components of an information system, and also components of an information security systems. I think all of you have done business communications. You must know the communication channel or the how the chain of how communication takes place from the sender to the receiver. That is an information system. And now we will add security on that system. Then we'll also talk about the information security system development life cycle. How do you develop an information system? Then we'll also talk about the threats to information security. What are the threats to security of our information? Then we'll also talk about the methods of information security. From there, we'll go to topic number 4. Topic number 4, it depends. I might decide to take it immediately after I've talked about uh, the computer hardware and the computer software, because we'll be talking about information communication technology. To take you back a bit, When this computer business started, it was called information technology, IT. Information technology basically was uh, a way of taking the hard copies, information on paper, putting onto electronic devices, that is on the computers. Then when the networking component of computers was introduced, it now became information communication technology, because we are now saying the information which is in our technology, that is our computers, is now being communicated between devices. So basically, here we'll be talking about, we'll define the terms. First of all, we define information, we define communication, then we define technology. Then we'll also talk about computer applications in information communication technology and the relationship between information communication technology and loss management. Then we'll have an introduction to business information systems and business management information systems. The business information communication systems, I think basically you might have covered that in your business communication. Then the next thing is, in whatever you do, there are some risks involved. So we'll talk about information risk management, because here we're dealing with information. So information risk management, basically, we are looking at the risks that our information uh, might face as it is stored on the computer or as it is transmitted from one device to the other or from one computer to the other. So first of all, we'll talk about asset evaluation. How do you evaluate your ICT assets? Then we'll also talk about the system impact analysis. What is the impact of such a risk on your system? Then we'll go to risk assessment. How do you assess the risk in ICT? Then how do you quantify risk in ICT? How do you mitigate risk? Then from there, we go to topic number 6, that is information disaster management. Basically here, we are talking of the, we are saying we now have our information system or information communication system, be it for an organization or whatever, right? Anything can happen. There can be a natural disaster. There can be a cyclone, there can be an earthquake, there can be a fire, there can be floods. That's a disaster that can happen. In the case of that disaster, how prepared are you as an organization to deal with that disaster? You have your information within the information systems. How are you going to deal with such a disaster? So basically, we will talk about incident preparation. In case there is an incident that will affect your information communication technology system, are you prepared to deal with that incident? Right? Then we are going to talk about the incident detection and analysis. An incident might occur. Will you be able to detect that this is an incident which can disrupt our information communication technology systems? And after detection, you have to analyze how, first of all, analyze the incident, and then you decide on how to deal with that incident. So that brings us to, how do you contain an incident? How do you eradicate an incident? In case the incident uh, evolves or becomes a disaster, how do you recover from that disaster? So here we are talking of incident response plan. Do you have an incident response plan as an organization? In case that incident becomes a disaster, do you have a disaster recovery plan for that particular disaster, right? Then the incident has come or the disaster has come, it has gone. How do you recover as a business? We are now talking about the business continuity plan. So we are talking about the incident response plan, the disaster recovery plan, and the business continuity plan. Right. And then we will discuss about uh, the difference of being proactive or post-active after an incident. You must have proactive and post-incident cyber services. You must have people trained or people who know how to react when there's an incident and how to deal with the aftermath of an incident. Basically, those are the 6 topics we're going to be discussing about. Ladies and gentlemen, this is quite a lot of work. ICT is evolving every day, but you have got to know where it started and where it is now. It involves a lot of reading. I've got plenty of reading material, but it won't suffice. You also have to research over the internet. I'll give you 2 assignments. First assignment and the second assignment. I'm sure everybody is aware that these assignments contribute to your coursework. So you've got to take them seriously. I don't tolerate copying. If you copy from your colleague, I'll definitely see it. So the way I deal with those who copy each other, if the 2 of you copy each other, I'll mark your 2 scripts and then divide the mark by 2 because it's effort which has been contributed by 2 people. So that will be your individual mark. The total mark divided by 2, right? You have got to hand in your assignments in time. 1, if you don't hand in your assignment in time, marks will be deducted for that. Right. For any questions, you can put them through on WhatsApp. I'll answer them as they come. I might not answer them as soon as they are asked because I might be at work, but definitely I'll answer your questions. I thank you.